I have this book and I've been reading it for a number of years now, as well as a number of other books written by George W. Carey. Interesting way his name is spelled. In any case, this is regarding the tissue remedies, and particularly today I want to discuss pain-free labor. Who would have thought that we could deliver a child without having an extreme amount of pain? We know that the mind is powerful, and we know that every movie that depicts a woman having a child, we're not calm in these movies. We're shown to be screaming and sweating, and it's not an easy experience. Don't get me wrong. I have birthed my own children, but the mind is powerful. And there are remedies, according to Dr. Carey, from this book and published in the 1894. Remedies here, minerals that can make the process much easier. Simple minerals like magnesium phosphate and iron. And so I want to read to you the preface, part of the preface of this book. And I will say the following. It starts by saying, the following work on biochemistry is offered to the public with a sincere desire to advance the cause of truth. The author has no desire to tear down anything good that may be found in any system of medicine, but this is an age of keen investigation, of idol breaking and truth finding. He who is afraid to investigate for fear that some cherished belief will be swept away is not a true scientist. Age cannot sanctify an error. It is with the kindest of feelings towards the science of homeopathy and its many brave and noble defenders that its underlying principle, similia, similibus, curantur, has been questioned, and idem, the same to the same, or the law of supplying deficiencies, pushed to the front as the natural law of cure. It is not claimed that all the matter in the book is original. It is absolutely necessary in preparing a textbook on biochemistry to use in the main the therapeutics and materia medica of Schussler and the translator, Dr. Walker of Dundee, Scotland. So that's enough of that. It goes on a little further, and he says, he acknowledges at the end of the preface that biochemistry in the late 1800s was in its infancy, and it's hoped the progressive physician will investigate without prejudice and thereby assist humanity to a true understanding of the cause and cure of dis-ease. And from my point of view, dis-ease, and it's through these studies that I've developed this perspective, studying his material, Dr. Carey. It's through his studies that studying his material, that I have reached the conclusion that disease is simply the opposite of ease, and it's not an incurable state. In fact, dis-ease is most often, according to this gentleman and his research, and there's a lot of it, and according to him, it's a state of a nutritional deficiency. And we can see that we have a lot of work to do as it comes to providing ourselves with proper nutrition. I think many of us are learning how to eat well and finding it a bit of a challenge as, it's not easy to find real food. There's a lot of plastic food, let's call it. And boy, those chemicals can make it really appealing and addictive. So on page 257 of this book, we can't lay too much stress on the wonderful effects of inorganic salts in pregnancy and labor. A proper use of these remedies redeems women from the curse imposed upon herself through ignorance. From the moment a woman is conscious that she is pregnant until the birth of the babe, she is under a nervous strain. Or, in other words, the nerve fluid is consumed more rapidly than the digestive and assimilative processes furnish it. Our experience has been where our experience has been that where Cali Foss has been received 3 times daily during pregnancy, no trouble has been experienced in delivery. Did you hear that, friends? Let me repeat that. Our experience has been that where the mineral Cali phosphate has been received 3 times daily during pregnancy, no trouble has been experienced in delivery. And where we prescribed it only a day or two before birth, or in some instances not until the first pains were felt, the severe pains have been almost entirely overcome and a painless birth experienced. Childbirth is natural. No pain should be experienced. Nerves and muscles must have a proper amount of fluid, life force, or they cannot properly contract and produce expulsive power. As our pathology teaches, pain is a call for reinforcements. The greater the deficiency, the louder the call, or greater the pain. Cali Phos is the chief remedy in labor pains, but magnesium phos is more especially indicated when cramps are present. Should the mother complain of indigestion before confinement, calcium phosphate should be given, or the child will show a lack of the lime salts. And the symptoms, I want to add to that, it's important that we learn about these minerals and discover and explore the nature of the symptoms of these mineral deficiencies, because I think you'll discover that most of your prescriptions are unnecessary. But I'm no expert, but it should list your symptoms quite well. And if it's a simple remedy such as tweaking your diet to receive the right amount of nutrition, or if it's a matter of supplementing with an inexpensive homeopathic biochemical tissue salt, mineral salt, then why not? And especially as it comes, I'm trying to be very calm here, but you can be sure I have had challenging experiences delivering, and it wasn't easy. And, why do they lay us on our back? That's so against nature. We should be in a squatting position, or, it makes no sense. And, I say that because when you look to nature, the animals don't lay and push the baby up. They don't suffer like females do. And this is why, backing up to what I said when I opened about the power of our mind and how important it is for us to stay calm in all situations, even when there's a part of us that tells us it's not going to be okay and that it's going to hurt a lot. We can transmute that pain from our belief system simply by overwriting it with a new script. And this is something I strongly encouraged. And by that, I mean, saying things like, the words I am, these are powerful words. If you say, I am able, I've got this, you say things like that, and you watch the difference in the way your body feels overall. So it goes on to describe a number of clinical cases, and there's stories about a woman who had, I'm just going to try and summarize. I don't want the video to get too long. I encourage your own research. But there's a clinical case where a woman was on her 4th pregnancy, and the other 3 pregnancies had resulted in a significant amount of discomfort, vomiting and diarrhea from the moment of conception for this poor woman. And their remedies, I believe they gave her iron, so ferrum phosphate. Anyway, again, I'm no expert, but it's iron, and they gave that to her, and her symptoms on her 4th pregnancy were, as they did begin, they quickly vanished upon treatment. Now, I know someone who has had a textbook birthing experience, and grateful for that because they're very important to me. And that's what they were told. They were told that it was textbook perfect, but did she follow the instructions that were advised? I don't think so. She had a very detailed birthing plan, knew exactly what she did and did not want, and was quite clear about how the process was going to be for her. And it's so important for us to educate ourselves. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you. This is not something that is commonly known or investigated. But here we have Becky's third pain-free birth. And just to give you an example, this lady's been online for a couple of years, looks like. She's got just over 1,000 subscribers. And she's doing here an interview with Becky. And yeah, there's a lot of information here that you can... Healing birth trauma. Trauma is a trapped energy. Bonding with your newborn. Postpartum bliss. The only way to increase milk. So just to give you a sample. Positions for pregnancy, birth, and pushing teaser. I know for one of my pregnancies, I was asking to sit up at least, not squat, but sit up. And nope, they wanted me in the bed, and they kept lowering the bed, making me lay down. The moment they were out of the room, I'd pull my bed back up and I'd sit up. And it was the easiest. It was the final and easiest delivery of my experiences. So yeah, there's a lot of information here worth exploring. And I just wish you all well. I, again, claim to have no answers to anything. It's just some one big mystery to all of us. And I'm no expert, but I would like to bring that to people's attention and start the conversation. I think the remedy is in our mind and in our nutrition. So if we're receiving what we need, why wouldn't we have a more natural experiences like animals in the wild? We don't hear them suffer like we do. And I feel that a lot of it has been suggested to us through media and storytelling, and I'm sure a lot of it is genuine pain, because if there's a nutritional deficiency present, then clearly we're going to suffer a tremendous amount of cramping. It's going to slow the process down. There's a lot that we can do quite naturally that I really feel it's important for us to explore, especially here in North America, as our systems become weaker and weaker. It really is time for us to explore what else we can do. Sending a lot of love out there and expecting the best possible outcome for all. All the best.